Good morning and welcome to At Home with Roby. I'm Patrick McIsaac from Roby Services along with Trent Haston from the Roby family of companies. We are your hosts.
What a great day.
It is a great day.
Our guest today is Peter Hollett.
Yeah, I'm excited for Thermo King. I'm excited to hear his story. 25 years in business, Trent.
25-year anniversary this year. 19. All right.
Wonderful.
He gets to come on the radio every 25 years.
Lord willing, we'll see you in 25.
That's funny. For some reason, I was a few minutes late this morning. I apologize, Peter. Not my style. For some reason, when I walked in this morning, he had the CEO of the radio station and all the sales people. I mean, they were clamoring over you. And they said, it's your first time on the radio. And he said, yeah, I get to do it once every 25 years. So I used his line.
There you go. That's all right. That's all right. But we have a lot to talk about with Peter. I mean, I think it's really interesting to hear about his story, what they do. It seems like a niche market with refrigerated, whether it's vehicles, trucks, and intermodal, I believe, as well. So I'm excited to hear about his business.
And the cool thing is, church barbecue we did for a number of years. We would always go over to your Statesville Road location and get a trailer and keep our meat in it. That was kind of one of the things I got to do and meander around your business, one of your business locations. Pretty cool. I'm always intrigued by business operations and stuff. So,
and the cherry on top is he is currently a Andrew Roby client. His house is being remodeled.
A very, very loyal client. Thank you, Peter. And we've become golf buddies, so we enjoy talking shop and having a good time. So hang tight. You're listening to At Home with Roby. What a wonderful day. What a wonderful week during the holiday season. We have Peter Hollett when we return.
Well, Trent, tee up our guest here, Mr. Hollett.
Yeah, Peter Hollett. He's a YPO legend, young president's organization. He's chuckling. He's like, man, you sure are milking this YPO thing. Well, y'all all have good stories. No, I mean, I was telling you, I like hanging out with my YPO buddies and talking about the funny old stories and our struggles. I think the public would like it too, right?
We'll give it a try.
Everything's worth trying once, right?
So Peter, it's y'all's 25th anniversary, your Thermo King, Central Carolinas.
Yep, 25 years, 4 locations, Charlotte, Greensboro, Roanoke, and Charleston. No, not that one. The other one, West Virginia.
Charlotte, so you Charlotte North.
Charlotte North, yep.
There you go.
Yep.
So the Central Carolinas.
Yeah, it evolved over time.
Okay.
And the name didn't change.
I'm not that smart, but West Virginia is not in the Carolinas, so but kind of hitting that 77 corridor there a little bit.
Exactly.
Got it.
There you go. So everybody out here doesn't know what Thermo King is. What is Thermo King?
So Thermo King Corporation is a part of the Ingersoll Rand conglomerate. So Ingersoll Rand is made up of Thermo King, Train Corporation, Club Car, and Ingersoll Rand branded products. And they go to market all over the world with these products. In North America, they go to market with Thermo King through independent dealers like myself.
Okay.
And so essentially the whole of North America is divided up into territories that are typically privately held companies taking care of the sales and service of Thermo King equipment in that area. Thermo King builds refrigeration units for trucks, trailers, air conditioning things for light rail, intermodal, basically anything that's moving that requires temperature control. And here in North Carolina and Virginia and West Virginia, we have a lot of our businesses trucking that takes product from North Carolina out to California and then comes back with produce.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's quite a segment of our business.
Wow, really? So brings produce back.
Correct.
Okay, keeps it refrigerated.
Yeah, on the way out, they're taking textiles or furniture or whatever.
They just have the refrigeration device, the Thermo King device off.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're primarily selling to logistics companies. I mean, that's what your primary company is. Trucking firms.
Big trucking firms, grocery fleets like Harris
sense.
Teeter, Food Lion. Now here lately, we've got Lidl and
Aldi,
Publix, and,
Publix, yeah.
gosh, yeah, and so all this, it's like the supermarket wars are going on, and fortunately we benefit from that a little bit.
I would think you do. There's a little competition there
Yeah.
in your ranks. So, have you been with the company 25 years?
I have. I started out. Essentially, my father-in-law bought the business back in the early '90s, actually 1990, and he bought the business. He was a Cummins diesel distributor for North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. And Chuck had a few of his buddies in the Cummins world that talked about these fabulous trips that they would go on, and when they'd come back, just regale him with stories of where they went, and he got to the point where he basically said, I need some of that, and ended up looking all over the country for a Thermo King dealership to buy, and lo and behold found one in Charlotte. And
so hold on. So these were Cumming dealers' friends, and they also own Thermo King dealerships.
Correct.
And Thermo King, one of their benefits was if you hit numbers or whatever, you got to go on these great trips.
Absolutely.
So he wanted to go find him with Thermo.
And so he bought a company to go on the trips.
And you started off running the company?
Oh, no. I started off as parts manager in Charlotte, and parts manager basically meant filling orders, sweeping the floor, putting up stock. It was a pretty basic job, and I think 10 years into it, I was still scratching my head trying to figure out how I was going to make some money and support my family. So I was able to, over time, buy a little bit of the company, each couple percentage points here and there, and ultimately I bought the business from Chuck and moved on.
Well, congratulations! I'm glad you got
thank
out of the warehouse. But when you were in the warehouse, did you get to go on these trips?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first year I was in the warehouse, as you say, I was named National Parts Manager of the Year. So
Dang.
I got the trip just because I was, getting rewarded myself, not because the company did well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was neat. And so that year we went to Cabo.
Wow.
And we had Cirque du Soleil was our entertainment.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah. So these are good trips.
They're not
Over
messing
20 years
around.
ago?
Yeah.
Jeez, I didn't know they existed that long ago.
We circle it.
Man, yeah.
So it's been a great journey. 25 years, hard to believe. Most of my management team has been with me 20 plus years, and that's just crazy to me.
You've told me that. I mean, I think when you told, I remember where we were sitting, we went to Diamond Creek, and you were telling me that. A testament to you and your leadership and your
Thank you, but I mean,
skills.
it's just it's pure luck.
Yeah, right.
Hard
That's what
work
a good
creates
leader,
luck, right?
That's
I
what
mean,
a good leader
yeah.
says, right, Patrick?
I agree. Yeah, what do they say? Look out the window when things are going well. Look in the mirror when things aren't going well.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we definitely.
So the first dealer he bought was in Charlotte?
Actually, Kernersville, but they had Charlotte as part of their territory.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then y'all have grown over the 25 years?
Yeah, we've grown to, we purchased the dealerships in Virginia, West Virginia, 5 years into our existence, and it's kind of stabilized there. And now we've diversified a little bit into all-make truck and trailer repairs in Virginia and West Virginia, and and that company is Advantage Fleet. And then in about 2 years ago, I started an online truck parts business called MrTruckParts.com, and there we sell a myriad of different trucking-related parts, whether it's chrome or air conditioning parts or lighting.
How's that going?
Slow start, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Startups are hard,
Yeah,
aren't they?
they are.
We figured that out.
But I like it
We
because
have.
there's no employees.
Yeah.
On the online side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Yeah, you can order it. You're open 24 hours a day too.
Amen.
We've just figured out how to allow people to online book their calls and all that kind of stuff, which is, it's very helpful in our world because it's 8 o'clock at night. You're thinking about whether it's a plumbing, HVAC, or electrical repair that you need done. You just pop on the website and it shows availability, and off you go. Which is your point. It doesn't have a dispatcher to have to answer the phone to do that.
Right.
Makes things a lot easier.
Well, people enjoy convenience.
I agree.
And people don't always want to have to talk to another human to get something bought or done.
For sure.
And it's hard because we are a traditional customer service company. We talk about this regularly. Our guys are like, I want to talk to my clients, because that's how they made a name for themselves 20 years ago, was making that phone call. Right. And now it's like, hey, I'm a buyer too. I don't necessarily want to talk to somebody if I need a pair of shoes.
Yeah, things are definitely changing for sure. But in my Thermo King business, the relationship is still trumps any kind of electronic communication. So my sales guys are super important to our process. They, the selling refrigeration is not exactly the most glorious thing ever, but it's a key component to a lot of our customers' businesses. And when we can, demonstrate value, so that these sales calls take probably 4 and 5, 6 times, or 6 calls to ultimately end up with a sale. So it's a long process and built very much on relationships.
Well, hang tight. We got to go pay the bills. When we come back, I want to dive into your business, into your people, talk about your leadership team, what y'all are doing, excellence in that area, and your operational diversity and such.
Perfect.
Will you hang tight?
Absolutely.
You're listening to At Home with Roby. Our guest is Peter Hollett.
Welcome back to At Home with Roby. I'm Patrick McIsaac from Roby Services, along with Trent Haston from the Roby family of companies. Trent, this is fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I love having, especially industries I don't know how familiar you are with what Peter does, but it's always cool to learn something new or somebody's business and just new things and all the stuff on the horizon. We were talking on the break, just some really neat stuff in what you do, Peter. We appreciate you sharing.
Yeah, sure.
Well, Peter, I think, snuck over here when I had my head turned and cut the heat up so he could take his shirt off and show us his gun. He's like, it sure is hot. He started taking his shirt off and his guns pop out.
He's got a cut-off sleeve shirt. What's up with that? No, I was just kidding.
So, Patrick, you mentioned that Thermo King is a cool business, and it is a cool business.
It is a cool business.
Pun intended.
Man, I used to work in plumbing, and we still are in plumbing now. We used to always say our number one business is your number 2 business. We did plumbing wholesale back in the day. We have plumbing obviously now, but we don't say that anymore.
No, I'm joking on Peter. Peter said he went and swam at the aquatic center this morning. Give a plug to the aquatic center, right?
I did. Been around also for about 25 years.
Really? Yeah. I remember when they built that joker.
Yeah, I walked in there one day and haven't been able to get it out of my routine since.
That's cool. So, yeah. That is really good. I went through a period where I was swimming a good bit, and then I got I got a bad head cold or something, and I just hadn't got back in the groove.
Yeah,
I went to running. So
yeah, I swim about 12 miles a week.
Holy smokes!
And that's been going on for 25 years. I should be able to add it up and come up with I've swam from here to wherever. But
did you grow up swimming? I mean, is that something that you've done your whole life?
Yeah, I swam in high school, college. I swam at NC State.
Okay,
and then I took like maybe 10 years off and stumbled into the pool one day and can't stop.
Can't get out.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
He swam in NC State.
That's incredible.
And then 10 years later, he stumbled into the pool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just tripped
That's
over
like
something.
you saying your golf game's not good.
There's a pool there. I didn't know it was there the whole time. I'm just kidding. But that's really cool, yeah.
So let's get back to your primary business is Thermo King Central Carolinas.
Correct.
And just talk about the evolution of the business relative to leadership development and operational excellence and those key endeavors. You were kind of talking about that during the break.
Sure. So we 2 years ago we engaged on a 6-month journey with a company here in Charlotte called Develop Us. Kelly Irons is the principal there. And Kelly came in to our company and worked with my leadership team of 8 people and worked one-on-one primarily with all of these leaders to sort of help them understand how to lead the organization into the future. And it was a great engagement. We made a lot of strides in terms of our professionalism, our leadership. We're in a very reactive type business. People have problems, they come to us, we react. And creating a proactive approach is difficult. It's like retraining the team, if you will. So it's been a journey. We're still on it, but we're making progress.
So it's a 6-month the original
Engagement. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I would say, I mean, Trent, our services business we're the same way, right? You got something wrong with your toilet, you call us. You got lights not working, you call us. Generator's not functioning, you call us. HVAC. I mean, I could understand. I mean, that type of thing, and we're trying to learn to be more proactive and get in front of our clients as well. But it's a total change in culture and mindset for sure.
I say it's a game. It's a dance. It's a game of heels and toes.
You do say that a lot.
And you always want to keep, whether it's your client, your associate, or your team member, your wife, your children. You always kind of want to keep them on their heels, and not in a bad way, but in a proactive way. You want to be on your toes and delivering great service. So you're kind of servicing them and in control of the situation versus, oh my gosh, I got 10 things coming at me and I don't know what to do.
Right.
So.
Right, and from again with the work that we did with Kelly, she would on a one-on-one basis, she made people sweat about the fact that she had asked them to do something, and when I come back, we're going to talk about that.
Oh gosh, yeah. So accountability for sure.
Very much so, and it was fantastic. So
that's great.
Yeah,
cool. So is you seeing the fruits from it?
We are, but I would say it happened with another addition of inspiration, and that inspiration came from a meeting I was invited to with Thermo King Corporate, where they brought in 8 of the most forward-thinking dealers. I was happy to be included in that one, and we talked about the future of Thermo King and the future of transport refrigeration. Just like in the automobile world, trucking world is going to go electric at some point, electric vehicles. And the transport refrigeration unit, the Thermo King unit, is going to go electric as well at some point, probably 10 years from now or something. So when that happens, or during that transition, there's going to be a lot of transitioning that us dealers, us service providers need to do within our own businesses to stay in business and to be ready to take care of our customers on into the future.
Yep.
So instead of having diesel mechanics, we would end up with more, electrician kind of guys or guys or girls that can diagnose electrical systems, can interface with the machine, and so on. And so that need. That evolution, or that coming evolution, prompted Thermo King to help us realize that there's something out there that we can be doing today, and that's implementing this operational excellence kind of idea into our business, which is really an offshoot from the Toyota manufacturing world. So it's all the tools like the Gemba walks, the can't even remember them all right now, but there's a bunch of tools, and basically it's about setting goals and measuring your progress towards those goals. And
so have you already started along that path?
We have. So we we're well into that journey. So Thermo King Corporate and Ingersoll Rand have provided us with a few resources in terms of coaches, and I've hired my own internal operational excellence manager to lead the charge. And so our goal this year in 2019 was to introduce operational excellence to the entire company. We've done that. In Charlotte, we're well on the journey of measuring things in the parts department, measuring things in the service department, and increasing customer satisfaction.
Are these, I mean, for lack of better terms, you've identified KPIs, so to speak, of how to, maybe 10 of them, 15 of them, that kind of thing. And
exactly.
You're trying to target and measure the ebbs and flows. Wow, that's
so what? Ron Lutwiller is our family COO. He is our operational excellence manager.
I think so. He's pretty darn good at it as well. We've done something similar, but instead of just sort of like, I guess in our world, it sort of felt like you were measuring or managing by feel. This sort of gives you management by true analytics and data, which has been extremely helpful.
Now, and that's exactly the point. So going back to the leadership training or the leadership work that we did, that was great, and it made my management team more effective. They made them feel better. But until we put those KPIs in place, only then did we really have some traction with changing from, say, reactive to proactive.
Man, it sounds
That
very
is so
eerily
cool.
similar.
Yeah.
Ron Lutwiller came on board about a year and a half ago, and that was his charge. We implemented a new software system, operating system, about a year ago, and it broke the camel's back. And then it's like, let's rebuild our people, get the right people thinking correctly.
So,
And then the last couple months, we've implemented KPIs to the minute,
Trent,
to the day.
what's crazy about that, it was a year ago today that we went live on that
my
operating
gosh.
system.
Cost us a lot of money.
Well, I'm spending that same money on my operating system right now. That it's been a kind of a cool, again, Patrick, cool process.
Yeah, I like
Thermo
it.
King, hello.
Yes, sir.
And it's cool in here in this room now. But anyway, it must be a Thermo King unit somewhere.
I say Frio. Yeah. Well, let's carry that thought.
Hold
yeah,
that
carry
thought.
that thought to the
We
next.
already talked about you staying on because y'all do a lot with Second Harvest Food Bank and how it ties in with your business and your charity. And we usually do charitable on our last segment. So will you hang tight with us?
Sure thing.
Man, Peter Hollett, Thermo King, Central Carolina is when we return. You're listening to At Home with Roby.
Welcome back to At Home with Roby. I'm Patrick McIsaac from Roby Services, along with Trent Haston from the Roby family of companies. We are your hosts. Peter, we were going down a pretty cool road there at the end of the last segment, and had to go, unfortunately, to a break and pay some bills, as we say here, to some commercials. But we were talking about your operational excellence journey and your new operating software. I'm getting this right, platform, and where you guys are trying to go with the smartphones and utilization of technology. We have a guest, a good friend of Trent's that always tells us, so people, process, technology. And so I think that you were adding process with the operational excellence side, and then a new technology feature as well.
And then the timing of it all.
Yeah. So both those journeys basically started at the same time. So when we were sitting down with the team in Charlotte to begin thinking about the future, thinking about how we want to be intentional about changing what we do and how we do to impact our customers in the best possible way. We did that with our NetSuite partner in the room with us, and so as a result, over the past year, we've been building our software system to match up with where we want to get to with the organization.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a really nice timing.
Intentional. I like that
Intentional.
word.
I do too.
That's good. So let's transition here. So you guys do a lot with Second Harvest Food Bank, correct?
Yes, we work with the
Intentionally.
food banks in all the areas of the three states that we work with: in Charlotte, in Greensboro, in Roanoke, and in West Virginia.
Got it. So they're a client of yours, right? Because they're in the food business.
Yeah, they're a client here in Charlotte. Second Harvest Food Bank of Mecklenburg. I just said that wrong. Of Metrolina. Kay Carter would kill me for that one.
Oh, no.
But they have a fleet of a couple dozen trucks that they use to get food from point A to point B.
Yeah, you don't think about that.
They use a Thermo King truck to go to the school pantries that they do during the year, and so we've been working with them for a long time. Your Thermo King corporate announced their initiative, which is called We Move Food. And We Move Food goes to support Feeding America, which is kind of the parent company of Second Harvest Food Bank.
Okay.
Really?
And a lot of the food banks across the country. They're like the big support group and they're out of Chicago. So Thermo King corporately is working with Feeding America heavily, and they wanted to, a year ago at the Thermo King dealer meeting, they wanted to share that with the dealers and get us excited about working with the food banks, not just repairing their stuff, but actually getting involved monetarily and with volunteer hours. So we've jumped in.
How bad of a problem is it?
Yeah.
This is the United States of America, and we have hungry people here.
That's crazy to think
It
about.
is crazy. And for example, in Western Virginia, not West Virginia, but Western Virginia, those are some of the poorest counties in the country, with no manufacturing, no business to speak of, essentially no hope. And obviously we're in a situation now where they've got drug problems with meth, and it's horrible to think of the fact that that's America and we have hungry children there.
It's out of sight, out of mind. And until you talk about it and put it at the forefront of people's thoughts and let them realize what's going on.
Even here in Charlotte, affluent as we are, or as we like to think we are, the need for food distribution to those in need is tremendous. If you ever get a chance, go out to Second Harvest out there on Statesville Avenue, and just witness what they do. It's a huge organization, and I wish I could quote numbers, but I can't.
It's okay. It's remarkable. I think Feeding America, Tony Robbins is real involved with Feeding America. Sometimes you hear him talking about feeding 1 billion people. I don't know if people listen to him or not. Trent makes fun of me for listening to him sometimes, but he talks about that quite a bit. Now, it's hard to believe, to your point, that the country that we're in, especially this city that we're in, that we have this tremendous problem that Trent mentioned, sort of out of sight, out of mind. It's not in the present. So I'm really glad he stuck around for the fourth segment to talk about that, especially being the holiday season. I think it's a time where people are looking for ways to help, and this seems like a really good way to do that.
Yeah, and that's great. Helping out any time is super. Holidays, especially, it's time to think about others. Thanksgiving, Christmas, but the need for food in the community is year round. It's omnipresent. Second Harvest helps men, women, veterans, children, pets.
Wow!
They really have a holistic program to attempt to alleviate the need for.
That is great. The timing of it's perfect. Tell us how people can look your business up, look up Second Harvest of the Metrolinas.
Second Harvest Food Bank of Metrolina. My business, Thermo King Central Carolinas, tkcentralcarolinas.com. We're here in Charlotte. We take care of our customers. We have, as you know, we have rental trailers that we can have at a church outing or behind a Walmart when they have seasonal needs.
Well, great. Well, Peter, if people listen to the first two segments before this last segment, they know you take care of your customers. Thank you so much. Patrick just showed me #Giving Tuesday. Donate now.
SecondHarvestMetrolina.org.
Do the golden rule today. You listen to At Home with Roby. Have a wonderful Sunday.